2027 with Atiku, Peter Obi, ADC, now one leg in Aso Rock. So guys, this is coming from a northern leader who believes that Peter Obi joining the ADC has so much boosted the value of the party. I mean, this man is, publicly saying it that ADC is already having one leg in Aso Rock. So guys, that tells you the value people place in Peter Obi's personality in the political space in Nigeria. And you can see the same headline too was captured here. It says Peter Obi's entry puts ADC in pole position, one step from the presidential villa. The declaration of Mr. Peter Obi joining the ADC is a political blockbuster. It is a defining moment in our political history. Dr. Ladan Salihu. So guys, even the northern Nigerian people know that Peter Obi has value. I mean, they know that Peter Obi has the presidential what. But because of INEC and judiciary, I mean, these are the two enemies of Nigeria. Look no further. These are the two enemies we have. If INEC and the judiciary can do what they were created for, I tell you, Peter Obi is well supported. Even the North appreciates Peter Obi. Now, see what this El-Rufai follower tweeted. This is a very staunch follower of El-Rufai. And he said, I speak as one voice from the North. We apologize to Peter Obi for the attacks of the past. Today, many of us recognize him as a leader with vision and integrity. The North will mobilize, protect every lawful vote, and stand firmly for a better Nigeria. Obi represents hope. So guys, this is what this Northerner is saying. He went ahead to say, I am Ahmed AU from Northern Nigeria. Today, as Peter Obi joins ADC, I publicly welcome and support him to become the president of Nigeria. I confidently promise 3 million votes from the North. I will personally handle mass mobilization, youth engagement, and grassroots campaigns. So guys, you can see that, it's not just in a southern support anymore. So guys, we really need to come together as Nigerians, and the North is already signaling that they are ready to join hands to make sure Peter Obi becomes the next president of Nigeria, so that we can salvage this country from the insecurity, from the poverty, and all the ills that is bedeviling this country, and our leaders are paying close eyes to all of them. Peter Obi is here to rescue this country. At least, if it's Peter Obi that is the current president, the 210 trillion naira that they say disappeared under the NNPC, we will not be saying with such amount of money disappeared. Nigerians, an analyst said if we can find this money, that money can clear all the debt that Nigeria is owing. But we don't know who stole that money, and Tinubu is not ready to probe anybody because of 2027 election. Now, the Northerners are signaling that they are ready for a change. I mean, a positive change that can bring transformation to this country. Now, I'm going to allow you to take a look at the moment this Northern leader was on a house media, was on Channels Television, and he spoke about, Peter Obi joining the ADC is a real welcome development. I mean, on Arise TV, he said Peter Obi joining the ADC has already made ADC, already having one leg in Aso Rock, even though the campaigns have not started, neither has the election even taken place, but they are already seeing ADC in Aso Rock. So guys, it's a wake-up call for every Nigerian. Put in your little effort and let's salvage this country. Now, let me allow you to take a look at this video and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.
The Labour Party's presidential candidate in the 2023 general election, Mr. Peter Obi, has formally defected to the African Democratic Congress, ADC, alongside several prominent political leaders from the Southeast geopolitical zone. The declaration was made on Wednesday in Enugu, the Enugu state capital, where the leaders converged to announce their collective decision after months of consultations. However, a faction of the African Democratic Congress, led by its national chairman, Nafiu Gombe, on Thursday distanced itself from the reported defection and registration of former Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi at his Enugu zonal office. Joining us on this show to discuss how Obi's defection positions the opposition against the APC is Dr. Ladan Salihu, a chieftain of the ADC. He will also explore the impact in the Southeast and how the obedient movement will realign political forces across Nigeria. Good morning, Dr. Salihu, and welcome to the morning show.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. Good to see you.
Happy New Year to you. Yeah, same to you. Well, quickly, Dr. Salihu. Yeah, major development, Mr. Peter Obi joining the ADC. Now, of what impact is that going to have on the ADC's chances in the forthcoming general elections? Two, I think Professor Patutomi has said that, well, if Mr. Obi He's not made the presidential candidate of the ADC, and he goes to accept a vice presidential position, that he will have no option but to part with Mr. Peter Obi. But what is the guarantee that Mr. Peter Obi will be the chosen presidential candidate of the ADC? Has a decision been taken on that? And then finally, this Mr. Gombe, Mr. Nasiru Gombe, who says Mr. Peter Obi has joined the wrong faction of the ADC. I thought that matter was resolved long ago, but it looks like there's still a faction of ADC that is saying, well, if you want to join ADC, please look before you leave. Your take on those three quick points.
Thank you so very much. The defection, if you like, the declaration of Peter Obi joining the ADC is a blockbuster politically. It is a defining moment in our own political history and in the history of the ADC and in the history of the opposition movement in Nigeria. Remember, some weeks back, Atiku Abubakar declared for the ADC, and now we have, Peter Obi. Now, numbers don't lie. The two put together in the, last presidential elections in 2023 had about 62 to 63% of the total presidential votes. So you can, if you take that calculus and, put it on the table, you can literally say that the coming of Peter Obi into the ADC has put us in pole position, one leg already in the presidential villa. I am so excited. So are all members, and from the top to the bottom echelon of the ADC are excited by this moment, by this monumental leap into, into political party activity. And when you look at the optics in Enugu, who is who, like you did say in your opening remarks, in Eastern Nigerian politics, was there. Senators led by Senator Inna Ebaribe, the former governor of Imo State, former deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, and many others. I'm not going to do a roll call here. And so we are excited, we are upbeat, we are looking forward to a very, very keenly contested national and presidential elections. And we are going to, in the coming weeks, come up with a strategy to communicate to Nigerians, to articulate our own policies, manifestos, and the way forward. The second issue of, Professor Pat Utomi, my good friend and brother, he is, he is rushing, he has rushed with his comments. I believe he should calm down and sober up. So are others. I will also plead with the kind of mindset and in the kind of temperament of Pat Utomi. I am certain that at this stage, we savor the moment. We try to look at the issues dispassionately. We are trying to recruit members. We're trying to put the party together to begin to articulate how we will, perform our role as an opposition party, a mega opposition party now. I think that should be the issue on the table. We should not so much be looking at the issue of presidential elections at this stage. We should be looking at how we grow the party, how we market the party, how we sell the party to Nigerians, how we take the message to the grassroots, to the nooks and crannies of this country. And for the case, this is the first time I'm listening. I get to hear of a faction, in the ADC. It's all a playbook. It's in the playbook of the APC-led government. Their own tactics and strategies politically is to continue to cause disaffection, disunity, so that all the political parties will disintegrate and collapse so that they can have a one-party state and, eat their cake and have it. It's not going to work with the ADC. The ADC is one party. The other person is on his own. He is just what you will call an irritant interloper. Excuse the language. But at this stage, with what happened at the Adwa Center when the ADC structure endorsed David Mark and a team, and the metamorphosis of the party politically, the inclusion, the structure as we see it today, and then someone comes out of a cocoon to tell Nigerians that he has a faction of the ADC, I think is hysterical nonsense.
All right.
It's not something that will fly.
Okay.
And like I said, it's the playbook of the government, and we're used to it. It's not going to work. It's not going to fly.
All right. I hear you, but Dr. Salihu, when you look at the trend as to how factions have destroyed other opposition parties, case in point, Labour Party, even the PDP, which is fast on becoming or not becoming the main opposition party in Nigeria, how confident are you that the same technique or tool that has seemed to work in the other parties would not work in your own party, especially as it seems as if there are some issues or challenges that are brewing in the ADC potentially based on who would eventually emerge as your presidential flag bearer. I say this because even the Obedience themselves, some of whom have said, if Mr. Peter Obi does not get that nomination ticket as presidential flag bearer, they are not willing to support the ADC. It's presidential ticket or nothing. So these are some of the issues, and this is amongst the other heavyweights that you have who are also in contention for that ticket. How do you hope to manage this so that the ADC does not suffer the same fate as other opposition parties like the Labour Party, who came up very strong in the last elections, and the PDP, who have been the main opposition parties for 2 successive tenures, have gone?
Well, thank you, Ayo. Look, let's look at it. When you look at the history of the PDP post presidential elections, it was a party that continued to gravitate towards, on the domain of disintegration and collapse. They either have, their in-house, issues to deal with, or the structure of the APC-led government was busy recruiting their governors into its own fold. And so you don't have a party in the PDP now as we speak per se. Now, talking about the ADC, when you look at, the creme de la creme of Nigerian politics in the Southeast, eggheads, people that have been tried and tested, when you look at the same picture in the northern part of the country or in the middle belt area, we have seasoned politicians that are experienced with pedigree, with knowledge, with integrity, and with the capacity to withstand and absorb the kind of politics of ill wind that blows nobody any good that the APC is selling to Nigerians. We will resist it. They will not divide the ADC. We will coalesce as the coalition that we are, and we will come up solid and firm. And I have no trepidation. I don't even have any fears about the quality that we have on the table. We can take on anybody, anyone, any political structure, and we will defeat them hands down. I don't have worries about who we are, what we are, our mission and vision to create a greater and better Nigeria for everybody,
okay,
I don't have worries about that. So if they finish recruiting, and then the last issue, Ayo, you raised, was the issue of, either the obedience or, their followers saying that if you don't, if he doesn't get, Peter Obi does not get the presidential ticket, they wouldn't support the party. Now, they should calm down. In politics, you don't join a political party with conditionalities and conditions or preconditions. You join as a member, you harvest your votes, you put your credibility, and you sell yourself to the voters, to the delegates. Eventually, the delegates will decide. The idea of somebody coming up to tell Nigerians, not only in ADC, in any political party, that if my presidential candidate should win or nothing, it's anti-democratic. And people, we in the media, should not even encourage such conversation, because we want to see a Nigeria that grows into a strong, virile, and democratic nation where values, not sentiments, obtain.
Okay, but there's no big deal about saying that somebody must come to a political party and pick up a ticket. In the last election, that was the agreement for Obi coming into the Labour Party, because they were going to give him presidential tickets. And we have seen people that come to a political party and they said they were going to give them a ticket. If my memory serves me right, Atiku came to the ACN in, I think, the 2007 elections, knowing that they were going to give him the ticket. There was no way he was going to come to the ACN as a vice president that's just been wrapping up his term and running an election if he was not going to be given a ticket. So that analysis is questionable in the first place. I've knocked that one out. That's the first argument knocked out. Secondly, you say people will come, they will canvass, they will get their vote, they will get their delegates. I mean, we all know this game is a game of money. We all know it's who that can buy delegates, that will get the delegates in the end. And people like Obi are saying that we don't want a situation where we come to buy delegates. And that's why a lot of people are already positing that the primaries might be the first albatross of the political party, the ADC. That's the second point. You might want to react to that. The third point, you saying that you don't know about Nafiu Gombe. No, that's not true. I know about Nafiu Gombe. He's been talking since the first day that the ADC coupled itself together. And he's been making his own point. So you're saying that you're not aware that it exists. It does exist. And he's been making a great point. It's for you guys in the ADC to be able to react and bring him to the table. And it's not a big deal you having factions. I remember when Peter Obi went to the Labour Party, there was a certain person that led a faction that we interviewed here a couple of times. And in fact, it was on the air, he said what he wanted. And I think they settled at the back. So Nafiu Gombe has been existing for quite a while. Just 3 points, you might want to react to them.
First of all, Rufai, let me be very straightforward with you. You may have, the right to knock off a point that I say in the studio. You don't have the right to knock off these points in the court of public opinion. That is your own thinking. My thinking and the thinking out there with the public is what I said. And it's a debate, and I don't want it to be a debate between Laden and Rufai. So be it if it must be. But let me say this. I do not necessarily believe in the kind of scenario you paint about the defection of a candidate into any other party on preconditions or based on conditionalities or expectations. That, I repeat, is anti-democratic. And we in the media should not be wasting our times and, discussing issues like that. Let us look at the Constitution. Let us look on the issue of equity. You don't come into a party. Peter Obi said it, as much as he has defected into the ADC, he has said that, look, we will go let the best candidate win. And if he wins, he has the assurance that Atiku will support him. If Atiku wins, he has, given his own word that he will support him. And nobody can sit down and make a caricature of that statement and reduce it to, something that, does not suit the narrative of the two men. And look, we are trying to make sure that the Nigerian democracy obtains within the platform of decency, within the platform of the best practices, not sentiments, not histories that have failed, but let us look forward and see, how do we come up with a structure? How do we deal with the issues that are contradicting and sometimes even subverting to the polity? How do we amalgamate? How do we congregate and come up with a solution that would address all these issues you have raised, Rufai? We don't have to be locked up in our cocoon of historical antecedents that are so negatively espoused and have not served the nation, politics, or democracy any good. I want to say this without any fear of contradiction, Rufai, and to the team. It's all about issues of equity. But in law, and thankfully, Dr. Abati is there to lecture us on matters of law, you talk about equity. But equity, it cannot replace the Constitution. And the Constitution says that political parties have to operate within their own set rules and regulations, have to come up with their own strategies, and so on and so forth. Now, let me talk again on the last person. I don't know the guy you're talking about. Don't force him on me. I don't know him.
Okay, Dr. Saliu.
I have never heard of this Gombe until today.
Okay.
If he has been out there in the space and he is not smart enough for me to see him, well, that's a problem for him, not for me. I don't know him.
Okay. Dr. Saliu, talking about, equity, what you are talking about, it seems to be a settled point that the APC and the PDP, for pragmatic reasons, have resolved that they will field a southern candidate as presidential candidate in 2027. Now, only the ADC, I think, said, the matter is too early to be discussed. That has not been resolved. You talked about the APC playbook. Now, doesn't this sound in the ADC like the Atiku playbook? Because some Southerners, I don't want to say Southerners generally, are saying the South must also complete 8 years. And then you are saying, well, if Atiku wins, if Peter Obi wins, but there seems to be some consensus on this part of the country that, there should be an additional 4 years for Southern Nigeria before anybody even begins to talk about the North. I'm sure you are aware of that, politics.
Yes. Dr. Abati, I want to believe the word, in my own opinion, is not consensus, it's debate. And look, when we look back, history does not lie. We had a president who was flying the flag of the PDP, who contested an election in 2015. He was from the southern part of the country, Goodluck Jonathan, which you and my humble self proudly serve under. He had 4 years. He was contesting. Southerners and some people, especially in the southwest, coalesced and took this guy out. They vilified him. They made him look like the worst candidate Nigeria has ever had. He had 4 years to go. They didn't endorse him. They came up with a northern candidate that took out a sitting southern president under the platform and a contraption of, if you like, the group that was led by Tinubu and Buhari of blessed memory. They formed the APC and took out President Goodluck Jonathan. Nigerians cannot come out and be told that there are different strokes for the same folks. If you had a southern president sitting in that was doing excellently well, vilified and, called all matters, all sorts of names, and then you brought Buhari from the north to take him out, what is wrong in getting a northern candidate if that happens to be? And I'm not foreclosing any chance in the ADC having a southern candidate. So the idea of saying one portion should do 8 years, the other one should do 8 years, even in the political mathematics of Nigeria, is unsustainable. I don't agree with it.
Okay.
Look,
on that note,
you look at parties. Let me drop quickly, please, for a minute. You look at parties in America. If a party produces a president for 20 years, that is the rule of the game. But the idea of saying the southern part should have competence, capacity, and capability should be the watchwords for Nigerians in deciding who becomes their leader, and he can be there forever.
So guys, let me quickly take you through some of the economic situations in Nigeria. Like you can see, this headline here is saying that Nigeria economic crisis, millions in poverty, controversial new tax law, and security woes worsen, while Tinubu is vacating in Europe, international media, first post report. So talking about Tinubu enjoying himself, oh God. The lack of feelings of our leaders is something that is next to none. I mean, Tinubu is enjoying insecurity, is ravaging Nigerians. This person here said, hard-hitting, emotional, Nigeria is bleeding. Millions can't afford food. Insecurity is worsening. New tax law are crushing the poor. Yet the president is vacating in Europe. Leadership is not tourism. Governance is not absence. History will judge this cruelty. I'm telling you. Honestly. Nobody did market Nigeria more than her leaders. Tomorrow, if you point out one thing wrong in the system, one hungry retard will say you are demarketing the country. the country. Shame, honestly. And this other person, wait too. Is Tinubu even aware that he is the president of Nigeria? Why does he lack the confidence of a leader at that level so much? His behavior is suspicious and need medical examination. No New Year broadcast, no words on bomb, taxes, insecurity. He just disappeared. Now why? Now why? Hey, Jesus Christ. Bayo should take this message home if he still has conscience. That's just what I have to say. So guys, these are Nigerians reacting as regards to Tinubu just vanishing, outside the country. President who emerges by falsified election result will never feel accountable to the people. Tinubu falsified election result to get into power in 2023 and planning to do the same in 2027. Why would he care about what we feel when he is clearly getting away with it, honestly? Hey, Jesus Christ. Oh my God. This is the shocker. Honestly. We are just on our own. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nigerians. Nobody cares. So, and tomorrow they will tell you you are demarketing the country. Okay. Demarketing. The president is unbothered and unfazed by the chaos. This person say This is a clear example of how dangerous it is to live in a society without the rule of law. It shows a total failure of legal system and how badly it has failed the people it is meant to protect. No nation can progress like this until we stop seeing ourselves as Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Efik, and start seeing ourselves as Nigerians who demand accountability. No, nothing will change. Social media alone cannot save us. It has only made us more aware of our deep and how deep the rot is. Awareness must turn into collective resolve to say enough is enough until there are consequences for wrongdoing. Corruption will continue, will keep dominating our national life, and the cycle will just continue. So guys, these are reactions from Nigerians because of the video that is talking about Tinubu just jackpot, insecurity everywhere, poverty everywhere, tax bill, no subsidy gone, all the things biting on Nigerians. Ghana government is working her way out of IMF loan and indebtedness, while our own government is borrowing more and more money, throwing the country into more debt and hardship. We don't have a leader in Nigeria, just selfish and greedy loots. It's a usual routine from APC government. Millions of Nigerians suffer from poverty and insecurity while our president vacates in Europe. Disconnected leadership at its peak. An extortionist in government has exposed taxes to international impoverished people more without taking financial burden off them. No free school for kids, high food costs, no cheap government transportation, no free health care. Same government takes care of this. No citizens from their taxed income. Okay, same government takes care of this, not citizens from their taxed income. See wetin some people vote for because of tribalism. It's not annoying. The many stupid people from Runos and Bados keep supporting this rubbish thing. Na city boy, he no get anything to offer people than to empower poverty, steal, embezzle, lie. APC, na dem of thief. God, this is international community seeing all this negative news every time about Nigeria. Ever wonder why FDI into the country is at all-time low? I mean, Nigeria, a disgraced country. The whole world watch this and why they deny us visa. But federal government, EFCC will say, now the youth spoiling Nigeria. Kai, tribalism ruin Nigeria. We won, pleaded, and yet some moron went ahead to vote this incompetent fellow called Bola Tinubu. Millions are struggling to survive, yet the president is vacationing in Europe. This disconnect is exactly why people are hungry. You don't think, say, now only Nigerians, they see these things. You go think, say, now only Nigerians. Tinubu, he no go better for you. Tinubu is a mistake of history. He should never have been allowed to handle public funds. After Iran, it will be Nigeria. Tinubu is tired. He should have simply stepped down. The people will speak. That's all. This newscaster is an Igbo man. My brother won't talk again because it's a foreigner. I don't understand what this person means. So guys, this is how Nigerians reacting to that news headline that is talking about Tinubu disgracing Nigeria anyhow. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you.